conscious or intentional about doing this year is making sure that I read something in the morning before I step out of the house. So I always have my a book in my bag. If I don't have a book in my bag, then maybe I'm listening to an audiobook or I'm reading a book on my book application. And so, but this year I have been very intentional about at least reading a chapter of the book. I don't know how people do all these pages of the book that they're reading, because for me, if I'm reading 10 pages and the 10 pages stops right in the middle of a chapter, I have to finish that chapter. Yeah. So I'm doing chapters every morning, chapters of the book before I head out now. So I'm going to get my chapters in. And it's so weird to me that I am now just reading this book, Atomic Habits, considering the fact that I have been talking about habits and productivity. Like, I'm reading the book and I'm saying like, oh, I have talked about this. Oh, I have talked about this. And it legit is my first time of reading this book. I've had it for a long time, but I've just not read it. And so I thought like, what's a good book to start? I started reading it, I think on the 30th or the 31st of December. And so now I'm in chapter 8. Yeah. So I wanted to go and make my breakfast, but I need to clear up, like I need to trash some of the cases of these things. I wanted to show you some of my empties for actually all of these items. I finished it last year. Okay, so you saw me use these. I legit used the last drop this morning. My toner, it's the, I don't know if you can see if the light is disturbing. It probably is. So it's Caudalie Vinyl Pure, and I have used this for as long as I can remember. It's one of the most consistent products that I use. And then, so when you order a lot of products from Caudalie, they give you some gifts. So like they'll just give you some gifts, and then if you remember as well, they give you gifts. So one of the gifts that I got was this one, and I always use is the lotion moisturizing toner. I was going to say the French. I was wondering why it wasn't sounding right. So it's a moisturizing toner. Okay, so that one is Vinyl Pure, and then this one is another Vinyl Liver, I think. So this is moisturizing, and this is purifying. The other one was purifying. So I always use this when I was traveling. So I used it for a good number of times. So like for a long period is what I mean. And then this perfume, I think when I did a review and unboxing of this perfume, I think it's 2 years now. This perfume, I just finished it last year, because like I don't stick to one perfume. That's the thing. Like I use multiple perfumes at the same time, and I change my perfumes like it's in rotation. So I couldn't have finished it in one time, but it was good. Okay, so this one I was influenced by the girls on Instagram. Yeah, they were not on TikTok, they were on Instagram. So it's the dark spot correcting glow serum, and I actually enjoyed it. I already got another one to continue, because like it just got to a season where I was like, you know what, you need to take your skincare routine seriously, and that's what I did. So I got this one, and it has niacinamide and squalane, blah 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 blah. So I don't know if you noticed, but like there was a point where I had like dark spots on my cheek, and then I was using this and other things as well, which I'll get into. Okay, another serum that I got into using is Biomass serum. So this morning I used the hydrating one. The one that I just finished is the clarifying serum. So I used this one, and it drastically reduced how often I was breaking out. So I want to get another one. I haven't gotten it yet. So this one, Biomass clarifying serum, was very good. And their products, one of the things that even made me to get into their products is that they were very vocal about improving skin barriers, and I knew that I wanted the products that did that for me, which is also why I got the other one, the Axis Y one. So this one, it's boosted barrier better skin clarifying serum, and it's Bioma. Very good. I think it was 17 euros. Not very expensive. Okay, so my night cream, which is finished now, and I haven't got another one. I got the L'Oreal retinol, blah 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 one. I haven't even started using it because I'm like, this the stories I hear about retinol is very frightening. So this one, Caudalie dark spot correcting glycolic night cream. I've used this as long as I have used this. So this was my first introduction to, was it, no, actually it was this beauty spray elixir that was my introduction to Caudalie products. And then I got the toner, and then I got the glycolic night cream, and then I got the serum and everything. But like this one, it's very moisturizing, and I use it only at night. So when I wake up in the morning, my feels legit feels like we have been treated for the day. And then which one again? Oh, my eye cream. This one too I've used for a long time, just because I wasn't very consistent to using it, but it's finished now. I haven't gotten another one. And then just body sprays, my Zara perfumes. This one, Rose Gourmand. Okay, so those are the products that I finished last year, and I'm going to get breakfast done and start getting ready for work. For work, and so you know how I was wearing two outfits at once before? Now we're wearing three, because, well, actually two, but a thicker two. It's not even now just snowing, just cold, it's now snowing. And the thing about snow is you may not feel it that it is very cold, but when you stay long enough outside, you are going to realize that the weather is no more your friend. I got this sweater from Shein, and so it looked really nice on the model. I wore it to church on one Sunday, the first Sunday of the year, and I liked it because it is also thick. Like, the material is very woolly, and anyways, any way to fight cold is what we're doing. But the material is very woolly, like you can even see the wool, so it's not like all this regular thick wool sweaters that are not very thick. Like, this one is very thick, but it's still fancy. Why am I thinking of fancy, like dress up sweaters, when this cold is not concerned about that? Like, the weather is legit not concerned about. So I'm wearing my high waist jeans, you can see it, and then this top on it. One of the reasons why I actually bought this is because of this. Like, I love this sleeves, I mean. So anyways, we need to, do I want to put it over or under? No, I'm going to put it under. I think so. Let's do it. guys. Okay, so it is way too cold for me to be talking outside, but I'm going to get lunch, and today's lunch is Starbucks because on Tuesdays I just eat out for lunch, and so that's what I'm doing, walking on the street. So I'm going to get Starbucks now, and then head back to work. Yeah, probably going to get the meal, but I would use the muffin for my snack tomorrow as well. Anyways, good to wear my gloves back. So we are back home now. I want to, can you see me? Okay, so what I want to do now is wash my hands first. I'm just put soap in my hand, so I'll be back. Okay, so I want to put my plantain in the oven so that it can start to roast, and then go and have my bath. I am exhausted. And then continue eating my apple. I always pour oil on the foil that I want to put my plantain on, just to prevent the plantain from sticking on the pan, because when there is no grease or anything on that, it just sticks and it's a mess because you're struggling to eat the plantain, and that's not the plan. The plan is to enjoy the plantain. So I put oil on the foil first, and then with that it's easier for it to come off after it cools for a while. So before, I used to just, like, once the plantain is done, I just take it off and then start struggling, and then I realized that when you leave it to cool, like, not be cold but just cool for a bit, it's easier to take off. Yeah. Okay, so food is being done. I'm also boiling rice so that I can have one bowl for tonight, and then tomorrow I already have the sauce, and yeah. But I think this is the first vlog that is going to be that I'm recording in the new year. The other one that you saw was I think maybe the last few days of December was when I did that vlog, and yeah, it was because I was recording the New Year series, prep for 2024 series. So I did record it in the last week. I think on the 27th was when I recorded it. But anyways, yeah. So I'm reading this book. I'm reading a book, but the one I want to talk about is the one I'm listening to. So I'm listening to this audio book by Dr. Anita Phillips. I've talked about her before sometime. She is the host of In the Light podcast, one of my favorite podcasts, because she talks about emotions and mental health, and she talks about it based on the Bible. She's a pastor, and she's also a therapist, so makes sense, right? But she talks about it and she breaks it down. So I'm reading a new book, and I think it's a debut book as well. So it's called The Garden Within. And I was listening to this chapter 4. I can't remember the title of the chapter, but like, I legit had to take it back to listen again because I was like, this is too much for me to miss out on and not be able to take note of what she's saying. And she was talking about the way, relating the garden, the parable of the sower that Jesus said, that Jesus gave to our hearts. So like, Jesus said this, the sower, he planted on sandy soil, some seed fell on the ground, some seed fell on stones or on the rock, and then the one that fell on the good soil. And so she just was expanding on these and sharing how our hearts also could be any of these, and you just need to, well, she said it in a way, let me try and remember how she said it exactly. Don't fight your heart, you need to heal your heart by cultivating it. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so true, because what we do is like, you're feeling emotions and then you're upset that you're feeling the emotions and then you ignore the emotions. And so she says, like, when you let those emotions, which obviously we know, but you know how somebody needs to remind you these things, when you let these emotions to come up by themselves and then they start to just show in different ways. So say you just have burst of anger issues, or just burst of, what's it called, where you just have burst of expressions where you just yell at somebody for something, or you overreact at something because of the emotions that you have bottled up and not healed from properly. And so she was like, yeah, your heart is always going to need to have that healing, and if you don't let it heal, you're not going to be able to. So she talks about emotional well-being. Yeah, but anyways, I just wanted to say that it's such a good read, and I'm so happy that I'm reading it this month. Like, I'm reading 3 books this month. I'm reading one on personal development, one on faith, and then one on business. So don't ask me how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. Yeah. So the one I'm reading for personal, I already talked about it, The Atomic Habits, which is, I'm so surprised I'm reading that book for the first time actually. But yeah. And then the second one is something about building your brand story. Yeah, because I'm taking my brand seriously this year. I already said I'm winning 2024. So anyway, we are going to win the year. Not anyway. So all the parts of me that needs to win, we are winning. So personal development, personal growth. Like I'm always talking about personal growth and development. So obviously I'm going to be growing that. Then faith as well, and then business, branding and business and all of that. Anyways, that's the end of my ranting. I want to go and have my bath, and then hopefully food is done by then. Actually, I'm waiting so I can parboil the rice, and then I am going to go have dinner, maybe watch Lupin and start rewatching. So I always rewatch my series just because I don't have the energy to look for something to watch when I'm eating, and I don't want to be so invested in something new. So like, I'll just play it and maybe not be paying attention, and then when I want to pay attention, I pay attention and all of that. But I'm not conditioned to pay attention because I already know the storyline. Yeah, so I started watching Dynasty again at the start of the year because like, there's just this vibe that Fallon Carrington gives that is just so, I have it all, but it's just so like, I'm so minded on winning, and that's the kind of vibe that I'm going with this year, like winning everything. Anyway, so yeah, I started watching Dynasty again, and then I started watching Lupin again as well for French. What again am I rewatching? Yeah, basically those are the 2 things I've been rewatching. I haven't even seen the new season of Flash just because it's the last season and I'm not ready to be done with Flash. That's why I haven't seen it. I'm not just ready to be done with Flash. Yeah, anyway, so I am going to go now and see you guys later.